A webinar participant recently asked, do we need to create a list of questions or a discussion guide for our customer interviews? And are there already questions available online that we can use? Let's get into this. So a lot of teams do prepare discussion guides for their interviews. One of the challenges I see with this is they include way too many questions and the interview starts to feel like an interrogation where the interviewer peppers the participant with question after question after question. One of the things that I teach, especially for continuous interviewing, is to spend your interviews collecting specific stories about past customer behavior. And I really like the story-based question, tell me about a specific time when. So when I'm preparing for an interview, what I'm preparing is what type of story do I need to collect. This is going to depend on my outcome and what I'm trying to learn in this specific moment in time. So my outcome sets the scope. I'll give a couple of examples. If I am working at Netflix, again, I'm going to use Netflix because we're all familiar with streaming entertainment, and I'm working on the search team. I don't want to start with a broad question like, tell me about the last time you watched Netflix, because I might not get a story that's relevant to my team. I want to narrow the scope a little bit. I could ask, tell me about the last time you searched for something on Netflix. That's going to get me a very narrow story about a user who's using my feature specifically, the feature that I work on. That might be the right scope. If I'm trying to optimize the search experience, if I'm looking for challenges with the search experience, that's a great question to ask. But sometimes I might want to widen the scope. I might want to hear about use cases where search could have been helpful, but maybe they didn't use search. So in that case, I might ask something like, tell me about the last time you were looking for something new to watch. Maybe they searched for something. Maybe they were browsing. I might say something like, tell me about the last time you were looking to find something on Netflix. Find sounds a lot like search, but most consumers are not going to equate those. You're still going to get stories about exploring recommendations, browsing through the interface. So when you're preparing for an interview, the key question to ask is what type of story would be most helpful to collect right now, and then to play a little bit with scope. Most people set the scope of their story-based question too narrow. So you want to think about, if you were to broaden it, how does that help you? If you were to narrow it, how would that help you? So that's generally my tip for preparing for an interview, is I'm just looking for what's the best type of story to collect. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments below how you prepare for your interviews.